friends, my name is Shayla and today I am here to wrap up my reading month for the month of August. I want to let you guys know that my manga video, kind of like what is manga, how do you pronounce it, why manga, all that kind of stuff will be coming shortly. I've just been in a big planning mode and I forgot to film videos, so there we are. So we're going to wrap up my reading month. I read 25 things this month. The majority of it was manga, I will tell you that. So let's just dig into this because this is going to take us a while. So I'm going to start with the things that I read digitally first. So we're going to start with A Silent Voice. It's a manga series. I forget who it's by, but I read it in its entirety. It is 7 volumes long and I read them all. I kind of binge read them all in one day, actually, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This manga series is about a young boy who was a bully, who bullied a deaf girl for their 6th grade year, I want to say, roughly equivalent in our terminology, and she ends up transferring schools. Anyways, they run into each other later. After she left, he was continuously bullied by the kids at school, kind of for chasing her off, and it just kind of made him different, and they reconnect and try to actually get to know one another, and it's a really great series, really interesting take, and it's just all about acceptance and learning to love people as they are, and it's wonderful. If you have not checked out this manga series, I highly suggest you do. Next up is more manga. I've started reading the 7 Deadly Sins manga series. I'm current on the anime, so I'm kind of playing catch up with the manga. I've read 6 or 7 volumes of it so far. I've been reading them via Crunchyroll because we have a Crunchyroll subscription, so that's just kind of attached to it. So that's where I've been reading it so that I don't have to purchase quite so many volumes to get a lot read in them. So anyways, the 7 Deadly Sins is about Elizabeth seeking out these 7 deadly sins who are elite knights in her kingdom. She wants protection from the holy knights, which are the king's established knights, but they're kind of doing some shady stuff, so she seeks out these 7 deadly sins. She finds one, Meliodas, and it's kind of about their adventure finding the other deadly sins and about rescuing Elizabeth's family from the grips of the Holy Knights. It's a really fun series. It's a bit irreverent. It's very much a fan service style manga, if you're familiar with that term. So they're really fun. I really enjoy the overarching story as a whole. There are moments where I kind of cringe with this series. I can't deny that. But it is still fun to read because I do like the overarching story thus far. I hope that continues as I continue on in future collections, in future volumes. That's the word I'm looking for, volumes. Next up is How to Build Your Beauty Brand. This is a book I obviously read for work reasons. I thought it was very well written. I think it would have been better had I read this a year ago as opposed to now, because a lot of this I just kind of figured out on my own. It would have been really nice to know a year ago, as I said, and it was a really easy to get into kind of business read, so I enjoy and appreciate that for what it was. Alright, so that is everything that I read digitally. Let's get into the things that I have physically in my possession. So I decided to continue on with Fairy Tale. I've got volumes 13, 14, and 15 that I read this month. From here on out, I think I'm just going to collect the omnibuses because they're 5 volumes at a time, and it ends up being less money that way for me to purchase them that way. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So I'll slowly collect those as the omnibuses come out, and that'll be how I collect the rest of the series because this series is finished and complete now. The anime will come back soon, and they'll finish out the story, and yeah. I'm a little bit sad, but it's okay. The story's been going on a long time, and I think I'm ready to see its conclusion. But those volumes I really enjoyed. It's not my favorite arc, but it's a good one still. And next is Sweetness and Lightning Volume 6. You guys know my love for this series if you've been around my channel at all. This is a sweet little series about a widower who is learning to cook after his wife had passed away, and he ends up forming a friendship with one of his students because she's the daughter of a chef, and so they borrow her professional kitchen for him to learn how to cook, and his daughter is just the cutest thing on two legs, and I just love this series. I could gush about it forever, and I won't do that here. I'll do that separately when I've completely finished the series, and yeah. Alright, next up is a poetry collection, and that is Stuff I've Been Reading Lately by... No, sorry, Stuff I've Been Feeling Lately by Alicia Cook. I kind of slowly read this throughout the month. There are music recommendations in here with each poem. The first half is traditional poetry, and the second half is blackout poetry. I got different things from each section. I really enjoyed it. As you can see, I've got quite a few little tabs in this book, and I ended up giving this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Borderline 4.5. I thought the experience with the music was really cool, and I think it did add to the poems. So I highly suggest picking this up if you're interested at all. Next up is a book that I am so excited is back in my possession. I found out recently as I was helping my dad. My dad's a school teacher, for those of you who don't know. So he was reorganizing his library in his classroom, and he asked me to come help. And I found out he had stolen this book that I've been looking for forever, because I have reread this book so many times, and I wondered what had happened to it. I figured I'd lost it in a move or something like that, because I moved like 5 times in 5 years kind of a situation. And so I figured I lost it in one of those moves. But my dad had commandeered it. It was in his classroom, so I stole it back. And that is The Only Alien on the Planet by Kristen D. Randall. I gave this a reread as soon as I got it back, and I can't believe I went that long without reading this book. I love this book so much. It is just this sweet book about a boy named Smitty Tibbs and a new girl who moves in. Smitty Tibbs hasn't talked to anybody like since he was 2. It's about her getting to know Smitty and the one person who's ever like stuck up for him and protected him. And so it's just a really good read. I think people should revisit this book. It's like 20 years old now. It's a really old book, but I don't care. It's wonderful. Everybody should read it. Yes. Go read it. Go read it. Go read it. And next up, I continued on with the Angels of the Dark series. So I read Beauty Awakened and Burning Dawn. These are totally smutty romance books, and the covers are embarrassing, so I'm just not going to show them to you. But yeah, this is a urban fantasy angels and demons romance series. The world in this series is absolutely fantastic. So I continued to read on in the series for the world, but I did end up learning to love the characters and grow with them. I enjoyed the second novel more than the third. The second novel felt a little more like Me and My Husband, and this one was much more brandy and things than the other series. So if you need a good smutty book, this is a great series. These are by Gina Showalter, who wrote the Zombies in Wonderland series, I think it's called. I don't remember. It's about Alice in Wonderland fairy tale retelling with zombies. That one. Whatever that series is called, that's the same author. Alrighty, next up is A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. So this book, I'm not going to deny it, it was a letdown. This is a love story told from 14 different perspectives. You don't get the perspective of the main couple at all, and that was actually a bit frustrating to me. I wanted to know what was going on inside their heads and not just what they were telling people. That's what I like in love stories. I like seeing that angst build. So yeah, this one fell flat for me. Probably more like 2.5 stars instead of 3. Okay, Things We Know by Heart by Jessie Kirby. Again, fell a little flat for me. This is one where girl's boyfriend dies, donates all of his organs, she hunts down his heart, ends up falling in love with the guy who has his heart. You know, it's a very cliche story. How they got there was cute and fun, but again, this was like a 3-star read. I probably won't even keep it on my shelf. And my battery's trying to die, so anyways, last but not least is City of Bones. I gave it 3 stars for now. Don't crucify me yet. I'm going to continue on with the series. I know this first book is the worst of all the books in our series, so again, cut me some slack. Don't kill me. I'm going to continue on, and that's all I'm going to say about it. So guys, that was my reading month for the month of August. Let me know in the comments down below what you read this month and which was your favorite, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you're new, please like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye!